Most children will become very talkative as they develop language skills in early childhood. Some will even repeat certain syllables and words as they speak. But does this mean that they have a stuttering problem? Hi, I'm Pamela with WatchMojo.com, and today we're speaking to Lisa Macero, a speech-language pathologist at the Montreal Children's Hospital, about children with stuttering and what they can do to overcome it. Can you begin by introducing yourself?
My name is Lisa Macero. I'm a speech-language pathologist at the Montreal Children's Hospital. I've been working with children who have various communication problems for about 20 years, including kids who stutter.
What are the signs and symptoms of stuttering?
Many young children go through a period of what we call normal non-fluency. That means times where they might repeat a word like, "Mummy, Mummy, can I have that ice cream?" Or where they might put in some filler words like, I don't know. Or where they might start a sentence and start it a second time, revise it until they get the exact sentence they would like to say. That is really typical of the young child, and they tend to outgrow that fairly soon. However, there's another group of children, about 25% of preschoolers, who go through a period of what we can call real stuttering. And real stuttering looks different because kids will repeat parts of words, so either a sound or a syllable, so they might go, I want to go outside. Or they might stretch out a sound like, Mummy. Or they might get stuck on a sound like, that's my toy. So those are real signs of real stuttering.
What causes stuttering?
I don't think we have the answer yet as to the cause of stuttering, but we have some pretty good leads. It's really important to note that stuttering is not an emotional or psychological problem. It's caused by a difficulty in executing motor movements while you're talking. Many people who stutter have a close relative who either stuttered when they were younger or continue to stutter as an adult. The thing is, though, heredity or genetics doesn't explain all the reasons why people stutter. Probably a good portion is related to the environment. Some children just seem to be more vulnerable to everyday things that we all experience in our environment. Perhaps certain life events like the birth of a new child or the move to a new city, or perhaps a very hectic lifestyle in the family where there's lots of appointments and they're moving around frequently from one activity to the other. And maybe there's something within the child himself or herself that has to do with her temperament or his temperament that makes them more susceptible to developing stuttering. It's most likely a combination of many factors that will eventually cause stuttering in a child who seems predisposed or more vulnerable to developing stuttering.
What percentage of children are affected by this speech impediment?
Very young children, let's say under the age of 5, there's about 5% of children who stutter. This percentage decreases over time to, in the school-age population, to about 1 to 2%, and to about 1% in the adult population.
What advice do you have for a parent who thinks that his or her child might be stuttering?
Probably the first thing and the best thing they can do is observe what's happening, to sort of take a mental note of whether it's fluctuating over time, if it's cyclical, if it happens every day, what situations seem to increase the amount of stuttering. Then once they've sort of got a handle on that, and at the same time, they really need to focus on what their child is saying and not how they're saying it. So they have to be careful not to give what they think are helpful hints like slow down, take a deep breath, think before you speak, or finish their sentences, because those helpful hints, in fact, don't help and may even increase stuttering over the long run. Once they've noticed that stuttering has existed for more than 6 months, we'd really suggest that they go and consult a speech-language pathologist and have their child assessed. Some other good general suggestions for families while they're waiting it out those 6 months and seeing if it's just transitory or if the child's going to stop stuttering all on their own, they can make sure that their child has some well-established routines. For example, they should have a routine bedtime, a routine mealtime. They should also take care to have consistent and fair discipline. As well, children who are stuttering need lots of rest.
Can you explain how stuttering is treated?
Before we get into the therapy, in a very young child, we might adopt an approach where it's a wait and see, or wait and observe, but actively observe, giving the parents some tools about what to observe and giving them some attitudes and some behaviors that they can use that will help their child be more fluent. After 3 years of age, we can probably start using a more indirect approach, but working with the child. So we might teach the family, the parents, how to model a different kind of fluent speech that their child will imitate over time. As the child gets a bit older, let's say around 4.5, we can use more direct methods where we really try to shape the fluency or shape the really smooth talking so the child will talk more smoothly more often and eliminate their stuttering behavior. As people get older and stuttering becomes more ingrained, the techniques become more and more direct so that people learn how to control their stuttering better. And also, they probably, let's talk about school-age children and adolescents or adults, need to start working on their own feelings and attitudes around stuttering, which develop as a person becomes older.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The pleasure's all mine.